Abhijit Majumdar, put in context the politics for us, because this is coming a few weeks after we saw pictures of Partha Chatterjee first and then Anubrata Mondal, and all those images of those wads of cash are still fresh in people's memories. Is this an attempt by the Trinamool to try and wrest back some of the lost political narrative or the high ground that it seems to have lost over the last couple of months or so because of these corruption allegations? Now these images, and you can look at it any which way you want, but these images of violence, of police vehicles being set on fire, arson, looting, etc., that's not exactly going to do the BJP any favors.
Zaka, from where I see it, it seems to me like a carnival of irony, and at the center of this irony is the CM herself, Mamta Banerjee. You know why I say it's so ironical is that Mamta Banerjee was once the ultimate street fighter, and today she is so defensive that she is unleashing, unnecessary force at many places. Maybe the TMC spokesperson is right that near Nabanna, obviously there would be more security, and the police would not allow. But in districts, at railway stations, people have been stopped from boarding trains, wrapped up. So it's how tables have turned in in a matter of 15 years or so. The Mamta Banerjee who was the symbol of honesty in politics in many ways. She still wears slippers, but look at what is coming out of the cupboard. I mean, crores and crores of cash of her own party men and women. Similarly, Mamta Banerjee has been the victim of tremendous amount of violence from CPM cadre and also the cops and the administration, the left administration, which ruled with an iron fist. But this same, it seems that every response, TMC's response to every single occasion, to every single event, to every single thing is force violence. And this is borne out by the what has happened in the last few years. We have seen it unfold in front of our eyes. We have seen how post-poll violence took place. We have seen how pre-poll violence took place. Murder after murder after murder. It's it's in court, and even today, after today's massive mess, the High Court, Calcutta High Court, I believe, has asked the Chief Secretary for a report.
Correct.
Within a few days, within 7 days.
Yeah.
And asked the administration to not detain people just arbitrarily. So even the judiciary, and we have seen even the judiciary being being threatened openly by the party. We have seen the cops, the police force almost behaving like TMC cadre. It is pretty unfortunate, and I am just wondering what is making the TMC government so nervous, so defensive, so
Tausif Ahmed Khan, your party, your claim to fame. I mean, Mamta Banerjee shot to fame nationally on the 21st of July 1993. You guys even celebrated today as Martyrs' Day, when I think a dozen of your supporters were killed in a police shootout. You are the party of Shingur and Nandigram. If you do not allow a protest to happen and bring down the iron fist of the state with water cannons and tear gas, and today I believe there is a female worker of the BJP who's battling for her life. If she were to lose her life tomorrow, the party of protest is responsible for the iron fist of the state.
You see, Zaka, whether iron fist was used against the hooliganism of BJP worker today is debatable. But what we have seen is that Mamta Banerjee successfully thwarted an attempt by the BJP to take the city, the twin city of Kolkata and Howrah, for the ride today. No police did not open any fire. No casualties reported. No protesters received any eviction notice. No protesters' house has been demolished or bulldozed. So if we compare the iron fist action of the state from Uttar Pradesh to Bengal, I think we have the Mamta Banerjee administration has been very soft. Now
one second. This is a political protest. Now you could argue that there was violence, but I think the violence happened because these people were not allowed to demonstrate. For a political protest to be stopped 20 kilometers away from the city by a party that shot to fame through protest, isn't that ironic? And I think that's what Abhijit Majumdar is also trying to say. I mean, this is a carnival of irony.
Now, how can you call this a political protest when the permission sought for was not given, when the section 144 is imposed in secretariat? Everyone knows no route was approved by the police from which route the rally would go. And when we all know that I'm not sure if it has been debated on your channel, but it has been public statement has come from various Trinamool police official and Trinamool leaders and police official that this protest today, a so-called protest, a violent protest, was orchestrated. Days ago in Vedic village, there was a meeting where 11 crore rupees was distributed, and people have been brought today with the sole purpose to create a ruckus, to burn and damage the public property. How is this a democratic peaceful protest?
Let me ask Som Mandal, the fact that the High Court has had to weigh in. The High Court today has asked the Home Secretary of Bengal to file a report by the 19th of September, asking him very specifically as to who all were arrested, what were the grounds for arrest, and whether there were any arbitrary arrests. We have seen in the past, in the post-poll violence case, in other cases, where the Calcutta High Court, even in the corruption cases, whether it's Bharatiya Janata Party or Anubrata Mondal, the Calcutta High Court has had to intervene in a way so as to correct, at least in public perception, some of the wrong steps that were being taken. So is this also yet another in those steps where the court is not convinced that all of the arrests and detentions happened today were in line with democratic practice?
Zaka, what I feel, I was listening to Tausif, and he said something correct, that all political parties have the right to protest. And I think BJP has been protesting with full legal rights. And I think there is totally violence from TMC workers which instigated the whole thing to flare up. Under the article freedom of speech, expression, article 19(1)(a), B and C, any person has right to protest peacefully. And I think the distinction here is between whether it was peaceful or not peaceful. According to me, what I have seen from the scene, it's clearly that the police and the TMC workers have actually incited BJP workers to go into protest in a violent manner. It was police who tear gassed, and it was the plainclothes TMC workers who instigated the police as well to do the tear gassing. So I think BJP was well within its rights, legal rights, and the Calcutta High Court should actually order an inquiry in the whole process, because obviously nobody is likely to take the blame, and I think an independent inquiry is very much required.